All right, y'all. What's up, YouTube? Backlash, May 4th. Yesterday. I thought it was a great event overall, without a doubt, man. We're going to go through each one, though, talk about it, discuss a couple of issues. I may later go and do videos on each individual matchup and so on, what I think may happen with each group, but right now, I'm going to try and cover it all. So, we started out with the matchup between the Bloodline, Kevin Owens, and Randy Orton. This fucking match was crazy. Okay, a good match, right? But I mean, it was crazy, man. The best way I could put it. It turned first. No, these guys go out there and it's just mayhem. They're just rumbling. And I do get it. I mean, these guys are a bunch of goons. They're a bunch of beasts on both sides. Randy Orton is a guy, man, who may be considered a face right now, but he's had his goon years. He's got that in him. He's one of them edgy faces. Same thing with Kevin Owens. He's about to smoke, right? He's the modern day Steve Austin. You know what I mean? Versus the Bloodline, straight Samoan goons. You know, straight took over the damn Bloodline from Roman Reigns. I mean, look, we know who these guys are. So they don't give a shit about the rules. They don't care about nothing. They just rumbling. They ain't doing no tags, nothing. Security's coming in. He breaking it up. So now Nick Aldis comes in. He says, all right, you know what? Since y'all don't listen, we're going to make this a no holds barred, whatever type match. No rules, yeah, type of joint. So at this point, oh, man. Now the crowd loves it. And I love the crowd, the way they were into it. Me personally, at my age right now, I'm being honest, I don't need to see good dudes being thrown through chairs and tables and getting hit with trash cans. And I get it. When I was in my 20s, I used to love that shit. You know, back when I used to watch ECW back in the day and New Jack whipping people and all of that, I was into it. At this age now, honestly, I feel every fucking bump, bruise. Every time somebody's hit with a chair, I'm feeling it in my back. Like, ah. Every time somebody's hit with a kendo stick, I feel it like, ah. So this match was driving me crazy. I just wanted them to end it. I just don't want to see any of these guys injured. I'm serious, man. Randy Orton has a completely reconstructed back, and he was taking Samoan drops on the fucking table, through tables, and I'm like, oh my god, are they fucking in this damn match? I'm serious. You know, I like all four of these guys. Tama Tonga, I'm interested in seeing what his career can be here. I don't need to see this motherfucker get injured. I looked at his back. He had so many marks on his back. I think they may have even broke some skin on him. You know, hey, look, they want to convince people that this shit is real. That you convince my ass, okay? Now, of course, we know wrestling is scripted. I think, right? Since, I don't know. Maybe Gunther fans think wrestling isn't scripted, but other than that, I think most of us know that, right? Um, but it's not fake, right? There's a difference between scripted and fake. Scripted is like, okay, the winner, the outcome is already determined, right? It's predetermined. However, fake means like a motherfucker not really getting hit with a chair, not getting thrown through a table. No, they're really going through that shit, you know, as I'm sure we know, right? So, but anyway, so another Bloodline member jumps in. I knew something was going to happen in this match. I didn't know, you know, what it would be because of the fact that Paul Heyman made such an emphasis on Friday. So I knew there would be some sort of a twist. So it's the brother of Haku, the other Tonga. You know, he comes and, you know, prevents Kevin Owens from getting a pin, right? And then, so then now it's 3-on-2. And of course, the Bloodline pull out the win, you know, which makes sense narrative wise because Kevin Owens and Randy Orton, these are established guys. They are OGs, future Hall of Famers, done been champions. You know, they've done it all, right? So really, they just serve as just a good opponent for the Bloodline, because if you could somehow get a win over these two dudes, these two made men, that shows how how vicious you are, right? So, the right thing, I think, or what I predicted, the Bloodline, will win, and they actually had more of these motherfuckers, more of these NOI dudes. Lord have mercy. So, um, that's what happened with that match. For me, it was a good match, solid. If I was graded out of 10, I'd give it a solid 8.5. It's just all the crazy shit, like I said, beating people with chairs and throwing. I just don't want to see anybody get hurt. That's all, man. Or injured. Put it that way. They're all definitely hurt. There's no doubt about it. Hurting after that. But I don't want to see injuries, especially a Randy Orton. He's too old for some of that shit. To be honest with you, be RKO'ing on tables and shit. Please. It's just, my God. Okay, Triple H. All right, so next I believe we had the women's championship match between Bayley, Naomi, and Tiffany Stratton. Okay. Um, this was a solid match as well. It had pretty much all you wanted. The moments, of course, where Tiffany got a chance to go at it with Bayley. They were kind of like throwing Naomi out at different points. Right, so you got to kind of see her go at it straight with Bayley at times. And then you also got times where you get to see Tiffany and Naomi go at it. It was a good match. I don't know exactly. I didn't clock it to know exactly how many minutes they went, but it felt good. Didn't feel like some cheeseball stuff that they put together. Um, Bayley generally just outlasted them. Now I thought the rules were weird to have rules where any pinfall, there's the winner. I think matches like that uh should be different. I don't know what rule you should want. You should want maybe either the champion has to be pinned, or if you're pinned by the champion, something like that. But I don't know. But then I guess they'll just jump the champion, right? I don't know. So whatever the case may be, Bayley pulls that out, which she should have. And I like the fact that both Naomi and Tiffany were able to look good in the match. Both showed that they're big time, that they're something to be reckoned with. Like I said before, if you really, really remember Naomi prior to when she left with Sasha, I know they were like the tag champions at the time, but really, if you look just before that, man, Naomi was getting jobbed out a lot. They had her losing to people like Mandy Rose and Mandy Rose's partner, the other Italian girl. They had her it was horrible, what was happening there. So it's good to see her looking better now, looking like she's really someone on the roster that is respected, as she should be. You're talking about a former two-time women's champion, someone who's just dug in the company, who's serving as a mentor to new talent that's coming up. Someone like Naomi should get respected, and I love the pop she was getting there. France, like I said, man, that's a hell of a crowd. They were giving everybody their due. They were giving everybody their cheers. If SmackDown and if Raw crowds were like this normally, without the fucking agendas and the bullshit that crowds come with, this show, the company would be 1,000 times better. The shows would be 1,000 times better to watch. So shout out to those crowds. Okay, that match there, a 3 women's match for the championship, I give it a solid 7.5 out of 10, possibly an 8. I had no problems with it. The outcome is the right outcome. Bayley, should not be dropping the title at this moment. Now I'm interested in seeing what type of feud they'll build for her, going forward. Will it be Nia Jax? Will they continue a thing with Tiffany? Will they use Naomi? Which I doubt. they end up hugging at the end of the fucking match. So I doubt much will happen with that. All right. Um, but curious. Next, we have the Women's Tag Team Belts Championship. And this right here was, on one hand, one of the most expected, predicted title bouts, as well as one of the most controversial in some ways. Um, After the match, right, um, I'm kind of combing the internet, YouTube in particular, and reading comments. And I know that for every 1,000 people that are saying respectful shit, you have your little assholes here and there, right? So, not to give assholes shine, but this is the match that received the most number of assholes commenting. And I'll spit a few bars at them, you know. But overall, I thought it was a great match. And I'm not talking about looking to see where there may have been little botches here and there, little missteps, little off timings here and there. You see, personally, when I judge wrestling, I don't really give a shit about that, because if I do that, then there's many matches that I wouldn't like. Matter of fact, if I judge wrestling based off of looking for botches, I wouldn't like wrestling at all. What I've come to accept and what I do in order to enjoy wrestling is I accept the fact that it's a scripted event. It's like going to see theater. It's no different from seeing a play. Except that this play is an action play. It's act fighting. Okay? And people are getting hit and they're doing hair raising dangerous stunts. That's pretty much what it is. But other than that, as far as the outcome, we know these things are scripted. Okay. However, when we don't like certain talent, what we try to do is oftentimes bring these type of criticisms that make me wonder, like, do you believe this shit is real, or what's the deal here? Sometimes I wonder, like, people have criticisms like, they were just, Jade Cargill's botching this and botching that. Let's really talk about that for a second. Number one, how do you really know something is botched? Like, really, for real, for real. Are you judging based off of the way the execution of something looked clumsy to you? Or are you a person who really knows what was rehearsed, what was choreographed, what should have been versus what you saw? That's the question. Do you know what these ladies practiced all week leading up to this, or over the last couple of weeks leading up to this? Or are you just faking a funk, as we used to say? Like, too many of you wrestling fans, quote unquote, are faking a funk. I get it. Now, the part I do get, Damage Control has been losing a lot to this faction. I get that. If I were a Damage Control fan, would I be upset at this? Maybe. Probably, I guess. Right? I guess it's easier for me to watch because I'm not the biggest Damage Control fan. However, I do get and respect those ladies in the ring. Asuka, I thought she performed hella well. Kairi Sane, I think she performed hella well as well, even though they're not my favorite type of wrestlers. So Asuka, she actually improved me. She impressed me rather with her ground game. She really did. Her and Bianca was probably the best portions of the match when they were kind of going at it. Asuka is really good at knowing how to get out of things and how to establish things, especially with her legs. She's very good with that. I saw that. I noticed that. Kairi is too. Now, all three of these ladies are ahead of Jade a little bit. But Jade Cargill, if you look at her match, if you look at her, what she does, she's just basically, she's power, all power moves, like The Undertaker. Really. Undertaker will throw you into the ring. He do that joint where he runs and just, you know, I don't know, hit you with his chest or whatever. He just runs into you while you're in the ring. He does spears. He does all moves are deliberate and power. And this was a lot better than matches we've seen previously where Jay, took no lumps or didn't do anything. Now she did get the hot tag again, but that's fine right now. That's fine. Um, I thought this was well done. They had to drop the belts. I mean, they've been the champions forever. They've kind of beaten everybody. They've kind of done everything. They are the heels. Typically, heels just don't hold the belts forever when there's a face group that is exceptional. And this is an exceptional group when you talk about Belair and Cargill. If you want to act like they have nothing to offer, then you're probably just a little kid that hasn't learned. You haven't reached an age, or you haven't been taught by your parents the importance of integrity. Okay, with integrity, what I mean is when commenting on talent, commenting on people, that you have the ability to give credit where it's due, while also saying, well, maybe this isn't my favorite. Like, it's okay, Bella Cargill aren't your favorite. And I'm not even going to accuse you of being racist. I don't do that. It takes a lot for me to accuse someone of being racist. Like, it takes a lot. You have to almost be obvious, you know. So I don't accuse that. You could just not like them. They could just not be your cup of tea. You could just believe that those who wrestle the way Damage Control wrestle are your favorite. I believe that's possible. I won't agree, but I can believe that's possible, right? However, I've read comments where people said these two have nothing to offer but the color of their skin, and Triple H is giving them belts because they're black. Like when you say stuff like that, now I start to think you either a little retarded or you might be racist, maybe, because why are you bringing up the color? For what? Like, if they weren't black, they would still be just two extremely strong ass ladies who are extremely athletic. Like when Jade Cargill did that move where she jumps up to the third rope, when she hurled herself up to that third rope and dove on both of them. That was some impressive shit. For someone her size and her strength, those moves that they're doing together in conjunction shows me they're serious about being a real tag team, and that's what I like. Like that ending series of moves that they did to get the pin, where Kyrie is up on Jade, then Jade flips her around, takes her down, put her into the jaded. That shit was crazy. You know how much strength that shit takes? And then I got to follow it by KOD on top of her. All of that shit was the shit. That little series. That was the shit. Like, if you can't see that, you're a hater. And them fans, when Jay did that, went crazy. Them fans in that crowd went crazy. And I've read comments of people sitting here saying, Jay didn't get any reaction from the fans. You're a liar. Okay? And you shouldn't want to live your life like that as a liar. Okay? No. They came, both groups showed out. I like the way, Damage Control dropped the belts. It was predictable they were going to do that. Everybody predicted that. But they did not go out like no suckers like in WrestleMania. I thought it was very well done. Very well done. I thought they went out like some champions, for real. Against two individuals who were on a hot streak and who are just, let's be for real, they're just way bigger than them. All right, so the likelihood you're going to beat them isn't great. Anyway, we're going to be real. So that match gets about an 8 out of a 10 for me as well. 9 possibly, because that's my type of match. I like power moves and shit like that. All right. Now for the last match of the night, Cody Rhodes versus AJ Styles. I thought it was an awesome match. Cody Rhodes, I think he showed out. AJ Styles always gonna show out. We know that. Uh, and now I kind of see the logic of having him go at it with AJ Styles. The time between um, WrestleMania and Backlash is pretty short. So Triple H probably didn't have time to create another feud for Cody yet. So what you do is you put him in the ring with someone that you just know. It's going, if nothing else, you're gonna get a hell of a match. And for Cody Rhodes to have his first defense with a guy that likes of AJ Styles, who's gonna push him to the limit, and we're gonna see he's gonna test your stamina, he's gonna test your strength, he's gonna test your agility, he's gonna test your everything. I think that was a good move by Triple H. I give him credit for that. AJ Styles was a better opponent than I, would have imagined. Even though there's no real feud there, it's just a damn good match. I give him credit for that. Cody actually, within the match, showed a lot of personality, showed a lot of that, man. He showed that he does deserve to be champion. He represented the title well. So as far as his first defense, I give Cody, uh, I give him a 9 out of that, man. As far as just his first defense, um, and in my opinion, in terms of just real wrestling, this was the best match of the night. Cody Rhodes versus AJ Styles, and Cody receives a feather in his cap from Fulan Speaks for this particular match. So far, so good on his title reign. All right, so there's my recap. Like I said, I'll be giving out separate videos where we look a little deeper into these things, and I got some esoteric cool stuff coming as well, because there was a lot of that going on that I'm not going to talk about right now. So look for that, and peace out.